All right, let's go, because you know what I came in to do.
I don't get paid for overtime. I'm here to fight.
Let me just tell you one thing. Harris Tyson priced himself out of a fight when he offered Anthony Joshua 40% for a guy who, if he gets into the number one position and was to fight for the title and went to purse bids, would get 20%. So explain to me, please, anybody who's got even a little bit of a brain, how he's priced himself out.
Tell you what, we go back to January 2019. Tyson Fury had no belts. Just came off the draw with Deontay Wilder. He let everybody know that he will not be fighting Anthony Joshua, who was unified champion, unbeaten at the time, unless it's a 50-50 split. And Ben Davison came out and confirmed this. Ben Davison came out attacking Anthony Joshua for looking at the fight like a business and arguing over percentages. Ironic, eh? Mr. 70-30 arguing over percentages. Fury wants to fight, but would never accept anything less. And he had no belts. But he won't give Usyk 50-50. And Usyk has 3 straps. But when Fury had no straps, he's demanding 50-50 with AJ. Someone whose commercial value was far superior to his. Make it make sense, Frank. Anthony Joshua was selling out stadiums in the United Kingdom. Tyson Fury, at best, was fighting in Wembley Arena. Yeah, I mean, had never sold out a stadium, had never did the pay-per-view numbers that Anthony Joshua did. By this time, Anthony Joshua has crossed 1 million pay-per-views 2 or 3 times. He's been pricing himself out since then. Frank Warren. January 2019. So with the Deontay Wilder-Andy Ruiz eliminator falling through, they're talking about making Anthony Joshua the mandatory to challenge Tyson Fury, almost like they're trying to force the fight. You know, they're claiming Tyson Fury struggling for opponents, but Frank Sanchez is there, Makhmudov is there, Martin Bakoli's there, Kozabutsky and Jarrett Anderson, they've got a date penciled in to fight. Joe Joyce has took his rematch options to fight Zhang. There's opponents there. If Mauricio Sulaiman was doing his job properly, he'd stop telling us that Tyson Fury is a victim and get one of them guys a fight with Tyson Fury, since they're ranked in his sanctioning body. Do your fucking job. But let me tell you this now. Frank was talking about if AJ was a mandatory, he'd get 20%. Why would AJ take 20% to challenge Tyson Fury when Fury demanded 50-50 in 2019 to fight AJ, unified world champion, selling out stadiums, record pay-per-view numbers for a British boxer? Fury had no straps, AJ had 3 straps, but yet he demanded 50-50. Why would AJ take 20%? AJ should demand nothing less than 50-50 for any fight with Tyson Fury, while AJ's still a ranked contender. Nothing less than 50-50.
If I'd have had a bit of a weak chin like David Price, I'd have been knocked out for a month. I tell you what it is, though, he's very, very, very good. And he's only young, 20. Watch out for that name, Anthony Joshua. He is one prospect for the future.
I'm a massive fan of his.
Tyson Fury is a cherry picker. Always has been his whole career.
Tyson Fury making it difficult.
It has been very difficult.
What made by Tyson?
Well, as people not wanting to fight because they're not accepting the money that they should be accepting. You know, people let's use Andy Ruiz Jr., who was commanding £20 million.
That's Fury's word against Andy's word, and Fury's word isn't good. According to Andy, those are lies. We were never sent an offer with a dollar amount. We would have quickly conducted business if they had, right? ? We have never received that offer from Tyson Fury. Now, call me biased or what you want. I believe Andy. I don't believe he asked for $20 million to fight Tyson Fury. I think Fury was lying. I think Frank Warren's lying. That's several times Spencer Oliver has quoted Tyson Fury and Frank Warren's side of the story. They've never once spoke about Andy Ruiz's take. It's bias.
But you know what? There was no intention to get it over the line, because all they're interested in, as most sportsmen are, the golfers, the racing, Formula One, all of them, they're all going to Saudi because Saudi are making it a destination for big sport. They're putting money, they're putting truckload of money up, and that is where both Usyk's head is and AJ's head is.
So Frank is saying that AJ's chasing the money. That's why he's not taking the Tyson Fury fight. That's what he's saying here.
Frank, do you think it's a case with Anthony Joshua? We saw him against Jermaine Franklin last time out. He didn't look particularly good. He didn't look anywhere near the best of his ability. And that's down to his lack of confidence in his own ability. He probably feels that he wants to take his own direction. It's August the 12th, possibly Dillian White, where he can reinstall some more confidence before going into that Saudi Arabia thing that we're talking about with the 4 top fighters in the world. Do you feel that he just feels that timing's not right for him and he wants to, he wants to take his own path?
Absolutely, and I agree with what you're saying.
Boy, Frank is full of gas, bro.
If he's saying he needs to build his confidence, if his training says he shouldn't be fighting him, good, I understand that. That's what it is. But don't keep on saying
But Frank,
Tyson's being greedy.
So he agrees with Spencer Oliver. But a minute ago you said...
All of them, they're all going to Saudi because Saudi are making it a destination for big sport. They're putting truckload of money up, and that is where both Usyk's head is and AJ's head is.
He's greedy for the Saudi Arabia money, or he needs more time to prepare for Tyson Fury, that's why he's swerving it. Just saying anything now. You and Spencer and that idiot, Simon Jordan. Well, which one is it? Talksport are enabling Frank Warren to spin these narratives. How the program directors cannot see the bias, one-sided spinning and weaving of narratives day after day, month after month now.
Do me a favour.
Yeah, you do me a favour.
Well, first of all, who's he fighting in August?
Likely Dillian White, I would say.
So he's going to fight the guy that Tyson absolutely destroyed last April, rather than fight Tyson for the world title for 40% of the money.
Frank Warren criticises AJ for fighting Dillian again, but then fails to mention Fury fighting Chisora for a third time when Fury had won the first 2. And there was absolutely no demand for the third fight. Nobody wanted to see it.
You spoke about wanting to fight Tyson Fury in China. Tyson's been going around the world asking, saying he would fight everyone. Are you disappointed that you're not able to sort of move on and fight Tyson instead of obviously the rematch?
我感觉这样对整个拳击、对拳迷也不负责任，对拳击也不负责任。
He should stop lying to people, and he should stop telling fake stuff to boxing fans. I mean, it's damaging the world. It's damaging the world of boxing. So I really believe that action speaks louder than words. And instead of saying you're going to fight this, you're going to fight that, just get in the ring.
The week he called out Anthony Joshua, we heard he was fighting Dempsey McKean and Opataya. John Jones was mentioned. Andy Ruiz outpriced himself according to Frank. I think a lot of the boxers are getting pissed off as well. You could hear Zhang was frustrated. He thought, okay, I'm going to get the Fury fight, even though he's not ranked by the WBC. How did that come out? Who are you going to blame for that, Frank, for that coming out? And then Joyce exercises his rematch clause. You see, fighters like Zhang are frustrated. The boxers are getting frustrated with it, with their names being used in this game that Tyson Fury can't get opponents and they're pulling out and withdrawing and asking for too much money. It's every other boxer's fault as far as Frank Warren is concerned. It's ridiculous now. Take responsibility. No receipts, but I'm pretty much sure when he was in Australia and he was probably getting mobbed by a lot of media and fans, yeah, I'm going to come and fight over here. Maybe Dempsey McKean and Jai Opataya. I bet that's what he did and gassed him up. That's why Jai Opataya's manager thought it was a real offer. He told the Sydney Morning Herald that he has been in talks with the Gypsy Kings camp over a fight in the Australian summer. It's a legitimate fight, Francis said. Tyson Fury won't get knocked out and Jai Opataya won't get knocked out. What the fuck does that mean? But yeah, he thought it was a legitimate offer. And I wonder who made him think it was a legitimate offer. Okay, if it ain't Tyson Fury, it must have been Frank Warren, Bob Arum, or who else could they talk to? You don't talk to Andy Lee about signing off fights? Who the fuck was it? John Fury? Someone's bullshitting the boxers out there. Frank? Frank said he actually tried to make the Zhang fight. How are you trying to make the Zhang fight if Joyce hasn't made a decision on the rematch yet? How are you trying to make that fight? That's why Zhang is pissed, and he's right to be pissed. And a lot of fighters are pissed. Joyce is probably thinking, hang on, you ain't even allowed me to make a decision, Frank. You're supposed to be looking out for my interest. Now you're going to make a Fury and Zhang fight without consulting me. That's why Joyce probably said, I better take this rematch. You never know what's going to happen over here. And all the other fighters he called out, they must be pissed. Hearing their name is coming up for a fight with Tyson Fury. Next thing, they outpriced themselves. They bottled out. And all the people Talksport talk to his Frank Warren for his side of what happened.
Frank, do you think it's a case with Anthony Joshua? We saw him against Jermaine Franklin last time out. He didn't look particularly good. He didn't look anywhere near the best of his ability. And that's down to his lack of confidence in his own ability. he probably feels that he wants to take his own direction, and his direction is August the 12th, possibly Dillian White, where he can reinstall some more confidence before going into that big showdown, this Saudi Arabia thing that we're talking about with the 4 top fighters in the world. Do you feel that he just feels that timing's not right for him and he wants to take his own path?
Absolutely, and I agree with what you're saying, Spencer, in every way. But the thing is, he needs to say that, not keep saying that Tyson, he's fighting in Australia, he's doing this, he's doing that. This is a nonsense offer. They know that we got plans. He has no opponent for August at all, and I have no contract yet, according to his promoters, for a fight yet in Saudi. So at the moment, he has nothing. And we offered something, but let me finish. But if you're saying it, if he's saying he needs to build his confidence, if his training says he shouldn't be fighting him, good, I understand that. That's what it is. But don't keep on saying Tyson's being greedy.
But Frank, be honest, mate. You know that at this stage that Joshua doesn't want to fight Fury. If I asked you honestly, you'd say at this moment in time he probably doesn't want to fight Fury.
I guess it's the way they're framing it. They're almost coming across, we understand why AJ doesn't want the fight. It's not the right time for it. But, it is AJ who don't want it. It's not Fury. And there could be a duality to that. A balance to say he might want more fights with Derek James before he takes that fight. But they're not mentioning the bullshit that Tyson Fury does. Why his call-outs are not being taken seriously. And it's all just to accommodate Frank Warren's narrative. And it's getting annoying. Anyone without an agenda working on Talksport would be questioning Frank, do you think AJ is really taking Tyson Fury's call-out serious? Questioning how the majority of the public and media think that he messed up the Usyk fight. How he's called out Opetaya, Dempsey McKean, John Jones, MMA fighters, when AJ's already got a structure of what he wants to do. Fight Dillian and then fight Deontay Wilder, regardless if contracts are signed, Frank. But they don't address that. AJ don't want to fight because he's not ready. But we understand why he's not ready.
I know who the fans want. Who do the fans want?
You heard that. They said Fury.
They said Fury, yeah? Well, the ball's in his court. I would 100% be honoured to compete for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the world. I stand here and I say that proudly. That would be an honour. So, wherever you are, if you're listening, you know my management, you know my promoter. We've had dialect before, so let's continue this and hopefully we can get this on sooner than later. We ain't getting any younger. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
When was that? Early April when he fought Jermaine Franklin. We didn't hear nothing from Fury till the end of May that he wants to fight AJ. By this time, it's in the press. It's in America. It's worldwide. AJ's going to fight Deontay Wilder in December. Tune up against Dillian White in August. And then off we go. And now you want to make the AJ fight? And Simon Jordan and Spencer Roller, but they're not mentioning none of this.
But at you and AJ, it seems like the offer is out there.
Yeah, the offer it definitely is out there. There's a discussion that's been talking. It's a real thing. I think it definitely is going to take place.
Last one for me. Of course, your old pal Tyson. It seems to be he's the one holding up the 4-fight deal, the 4-fighter deal. Can you believe that he is the guy who's standing in the way of him fighting Usyk, you fighting AJ, and then the winners fighting each other?
Now, knowing him and knowing his personality, you wouldn't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those type of people. So we'll see what happens at the end of the day. If he don't sign it, me and Anthony, we'll still proceed.
Before we come on to tomorrow night, you did declare to Coogan yesterday that Saudi Arabia have given you an offer. Would you say it's a formal offer?
We don't have a contract from them, but our relationship with them is very different to other people's relationships with them. Maybe not Usyk because they've done a deal with them now. But don't forget, we've been working with Prince Khalid and Skills Challenge since 2019, 3-4 years. I know them, I trust them. I spoke to them last night. And I'm comfortable that the paperwork will follow. I've been part of that process for 2 fights. I know how it works. It is slow. But some people have time, some people don't have time. For us, we're focusing on August 12th, and of course we want to wrap up December as well. But at the same time, I believe that the paperwork we require will be incoming, and I believe it will be incoming for everybody else. They don't muck around. They're not putting this out to the world that they want to do this night for a bit of banter and just for a bit of clout. They're real players, and you have to be willing and prepared to go through that process to get it done.
Gareth Davis saying the fight's not going to happen. AJ versus Wilder. Why is he saying that nonsense? The fight is going to happen. Wilder just confirmed he's had offers. The contracts will come through. You know, what is it Gareth Davis knows about Skills Challenge and the Saudis more than Eddie? Eddie's been dealing with the Saudis since 2019. There's Gareth Davis walking around all smug, you know, like he's in the infrastructure, chopping it up. Him and Simon Jordan.
Acerbic and facetious and vitriolic about people that choose not to take up your particular conditionality.
Keeps talking about his concerns about Saudi Arabia getting involved with boxing. I'm more concerned about you getting involved in boxing. How about that? I'm not naive enough to rule out there may be an ulterior motive why they want to invest so much in football, not soccer, football, golf, boxing, etc., etc. I'm not so naive to rule that out. But as of now, there's no proof there is an ulterior motive other than they like the glamour, prestige, and plus the profit margins investing in major sports like golf, boxing, and football can produce. The PBC, they could have sold Crawford and Spence to the Saudis, but they said nah. Even though it took them a little too long to get round to making that fight, finally they said they'll handle it, and they're handling it. So all this, if the boxers can't get a Saudi deal, they won't take fights no more because the likes of Wembley or the MSG or Las Vegas won't be able to compete with the site fees and the purses. That's bull fucking shit. The fight's gonna happen, man. Shelley Finkel was talking about the fight in October last year, and Wilder being willing to travel to the United Kingdom to make it happen. The fight's gonna happen. Whether it happens in Saudi Arabia or not, it's gonna happen. The fight needs to happen. They haven't fought each other, and it was for a period of at least 4 years. They were the dominant heavies, and that fight never happened. It needs to happen. There's a lot of other matchups that need to happen, and this is one of them. It's gonna happen. Gareth Davis. Another PBC fighter, Stephen Fulton, he's heading off to Japan because boxers like Fulton and Wilder are realizing that, you know something, perhaps we're not quite the Mecca that a lot of people are shouting we are. Perhaps that ship has run its course. Let me go and get my career-defining fights and paydays now. Let's say the Saudis, if they host 10 major events a year, that's going to have a knock-on effect on unifications, possible undisputed fights happening outside of Saudi Arabia. Bullshit. Hey yo, as far as I know, I live in a capitalist system. As far as I know, as limited as my comprehensive school education may have been, I live in a capitalist society. And now this guy is telling me that he has a problem with boxers taking multi-million-dollar deals with Skills Challenge in Saudi Arabia. Shouldn't he keep his nose out of it? How much foreign investment, whether it's from Russia or the Middle East, has propped up the Premier League for how many years? Why don't you go tell some of them Brits in the boardrooms of Premier League clubs that you're concerned about the foreign investment into British football? It might not be sustainable for the growth of British football. You wouldn't dare do that. Is there some kind of xenophobic angle? Or is it because Frank Warren isn't involved in none of these deals? Him and Spencer and the rest of them, what's up with this Uncle Frank? Better not get Uncle Frank mad. Better not get him angry. What, has he sent Lenny and the boys over there or something? Because you see, I don't know what it is. Yeah, pussy around the guy. Let's keep it real. There are points to be made, but he didn't even address these points. Yes, it could turn into a rich boys' playground over there. So, for example, if you were going to purchase an AJ Wilder ticket for Wembley, you got to really think about it now. Because now you've got to deal with the price of flights, hotel, etc., etc., time off work. But for Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, who risk their life every time they step in that squared circle, they are entitled to take top fucking dollar every time they step in there. And nobody should be saying anything. Especially some jumped up geezer who don't really know nothing about boxing, who done all his money up the southeast with the palace when he balls it up trying to be some big chairman business mogul. Let's keep it real. Anthony Joshua brought the eyes and the attention and the money back to the heavyweight division. The Saudis getting involved is just a continuation. That's all it is. It was Anthony Joshua who brought the big pay-per-view numbers to Britain, the big stadium numbers to Britain, the big purses to Britain. You think he shouldn't enjoy the spoils of that? He should wait around for Tyson Fury to offering Wembley dates for 60-40 when it should really be 50-50. Go check the Forbes list why it should be 50-50. Deontay Wilder has only lost to one man in his career. And that man is a good fighter. I'm not going to take that away from him. He's only lost to one man. And he has a huge knockout percentage. And if Anthony Joshua can either beat Deontay Wilder or get in a classic fight with Deontay Wilder, and it's the same for Wilder, depending on how he performs against Anthony Joshua, despite the 3 Tyson Fury performances where he didn't get a win, he gets a shot at redemption. This is a very important fight. Very important fight. The heavyweight division is full of non-world title fights that were very important to the historical narrative of heavyweight boxing. The 2 fights between Liston and Cleveland Williams, the second fight between Ali and Frazier, Lyle versus Foreman, the 2 fights between Ruddock and Tyson. This fight is in that same lane. It's in the same lane as them fights there. And before I let them clowns at Talksport or Frank Warren or Tyson Fury spoil it because they're not involved, I'm going to have my say. The Saudis are very positive about December. Deontay Wilder positive, Eddie Hearn positive, Anthony Joshua positive, Usyk positive, just signed a skills challenge deal. The only people who ain't positive right now is Frank Warren and his boxer. And if Talksport are not going to check Frank Warren and Tyson Fury accordingly, with no apologies, with no leg room for them to worm out of it, then they're bad for boxing. And there's no way out.